The Metal Virus arc in IDW is something that Sonic fans have been asking for a long time now. Sonic and zombies is something that a lot of us have thought about at least once in our lifetimes, and if you say no, come on. Come on. Anyway, we all, yes, you and I, got what we asked for, starting with issue 12 and lasting informally all the way until about issue number 32. So while I only have a few things to say about the arc itself, what I really want to focus on is the how of everything. If you haven't watched the previous video, then I highly recommend you do and then come back here once you are done to get the full context of that, because it has a lot to do with a certain hedgehog and the video is a banger. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Ian Flynn deciding to do Sonic Zombies was a good way to get everyone's eyes on the comics again. It offered high stakes, surprising losses, and a conclusion that just felt good. We see the return of Super Sonic for the first time in these comics, and also my goat Silver gets to go super before Shadow, which we'll talk about him. But all in all, Cream loses both her mom, Cheese, and Chocola. SPO is the only member of the Chaotix left. Fan favorite Tangle gets taken out of the picture in a pretty badass way, I can't even lie. And the Deadly Six are here, but their appearance really just brings forth the means to get to the end of the arc, and they're serviceable, which is more than I guess I can typically say for them. What most intrigues me and a lot of the readers at the time was that we finally get to see Sonic legitimately at his wit's end. I'm talking multiple days of lackluster sleep, he's having to find up hordes of the undead both alone and also while protecting those who can't fight for themselves. All of his friends at this point are low-key sick of him, and he himself is snapping even harder at people like Eggman, Metal Sonic, and even those same homies that are blaming him for this mess even being something they have to deal with. Now, the Metal Virus feels like what Sonic Forces was supposed to feel like. It's helpless and almost like these characters are pushing a rock up a hill that just keeps rolling down every time they think a solution is close by. Everyone is making brash decisions that show you just how much stress they're under. Now, some people have said that the arc went on for far too long, but luckily for those of you that weren't reading the new issues as they were released, you have the benefit of being able to speedrun everything and get the full experience in one go. It's genuinely one of the best reads for Sonic as a medium for me, and I've had the pleasure of experiencing it firsthand, so I hope that anyone that hasn't read through the arc yet does the same and gets those opinions out for themselves. Although, let's get to the elephant in the room though and why you're all here. How does the Metal Virus actually work, and why was it allowed to affect Shadow the Hedgehog out of all people who are supposed to be immune to every disease imaginable? It's not like your typical zombie virus plot device, and instead acts as this amalgamation of a ton of different diseases. The infection isn't spread through bites, nor is it airborne, but it moves around through a simple touch of skin contact from person to person. To be exact, the Metal Virus is composed of a collection of nanobots that seemingly act as a coating for the host's skin. There's no mention of the nanobots attaching themselves to the host's brain anywhere in the comic, much like other types of infections that you'll see in media like Dawn of the Dead, Dead Rising, etc., and this will actually help us deduce the method of contamination. Now, while I'm no scientist, I've seen enough media and have done enough research to vaguely understand what these little guys are and how they do it. In most cases, nanobots are depicted as surface-level microbes that will attach themselves to the outside part of an object in order to achieve a desired result. Take Iron Man's suit-ups from Infinity War and the Invisible Man from the most recent remake over in 2020. Using this as the foundation, we can assume that Eggman developed the Metal Virus under the same pretext, and this is even proven to us when he's experimenting on the animals during the testing stages. Now, why is that worth mentioning? Well, if there's one thing that the good doctor has proven about himself time and time again, it's that he's not above ensuring that his victims are aware they're being used. Just take the first couple of times you fight him. Sonic is tasked with freeing the animals both from within the capsules and the robotic shells that you destroy in the classic games. Now, are you picking up what I'm putting down? Having the nanobots act as these programmed with the job of spreading the virus through whatever means possible, even to the surrounding environment as well, is all on purpose. The bots can't differentiate between flora and fauna cells, only between organic and inorganic, hence why the robots like Omega, Gemro, and Bell can't be infected. As a result, most basic and innate functions that these characters exhibit are still intact, but the extracurricular abilities aren't. Just think about it. Charmy is still able to fly when he gets infected, and that's why Vector has to trap him in the item box. Gemro gets worried about Vector breaking down the door after he's infected from stopping Charmy going on a rampage. And to top it off, it's also why Shadow the Hedgehog is able to get got by the Metal Virus. Gerald made sure that Shadow could never get sick when he was designing him, but how do you stop someone from getting a virus that really only acts as a shell on their outer layers? The metal virus is a living thing per se that can perform all the everyday tasks that its host can. Flying, punching, and running all at the natural capabilities of said host. But what if that person had an extrinsic method of applying their abilities? Now, we don't really know how Shadow's air shoes work on a technical level, but Sonic notes and is relieved himself that an infected Shadow doesn't know how to use them. Think of the infection for the metal virus here as a really bad outfit that just makes your body submit to its every command. All the while, you're still under there, unable to control your actions, but fully aware of everything that's going on. I say that's a pretty nice way for the writers to get away with basically killing these characters, but I digress. As always, let me know if I cooked with this quick theory, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.